Hey guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just got done walking. Long time listening to Tauntaun Girl's video, and then Alex Becker, and John talk Star Wars, and we gotta fix this. Steaming up, and I gotta say, so it's Star Wars fatigue. That's why nobody's singing solo. Losing longtime fans like Tauntaun Girl, you know, they don't really care. Not understanding how a business works, Alex Becker basically explained it. They don't care. But according to the newspaper, you name it, you know, you've got, you know, the New York Times, I'm pretty sure the Washington Horror Post, you know, probably Wall Street Journal, but I don't think Wall Street Journal will go that far. You know, they're buying Lucasfilm's spin that it's Star Wars fatigue. There has been a boycott solo hashtag going on for months. And Last Jedi, awful hashtag on Twitter, both of them are on Twitter, going on for months. Star Wars fatigue. You didn't insult just half the fans with The Last Jedi. You insulted 3/4 of the fans. And if Rotten Tomatoes actually was honest about how they did all that, it would be 24% like the movie, not 46. It'd be 24. Okay? So basically, Rian Johnson, living in his little bubble, writing his script, not realizing anything that else was going on, you know, with J.J. Abrams, you know, basically made a movie for himself and 5 other people, all right? People can't get the insult that The Last Jedi was. And no, writing a novel, including Han Solo's funeral, and then adding that none of the younger people wanted to be there, fuck you, okay? Just fuck you, Jason Fry, and fuck you, Rian Johnson, okay? You know, that was not only an insult to the fans who loved Han Solo, and oh, by the way, Han is actually the most popular character in Star Wars. For the casual viewers, they know him, all right? I think for the mega fans, it might be Luke, but for the casual fans, it's been Han and Harrison Ford. So, basically, that was a big, you know, fuck you to the fans who wanted something of a bit of closure because we love that character. It was a fuck you to Harrison Ford, George Lucas, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill. As Mark said, they had time to see him milking an alien sea cow, but not enough time to mourn Han. But we got it in the book. That book isn't going anywhere. Let me tell you, every time I go back to either of the Targets nearby, all the books, The Last Jedi novels, are still sitting, gathering dust on the shelf. No one gives a shit. All right? This is what happens when you hire someone like Rian Johnson. Absolutely no business directing a Star Wars movie. And why did you do that? Because Kathleen Kennedy can't handle a guy like the likes of Ridley Scott, alpha male. The likes of Chris Nolan, alpha male. The likes of Peter Jackson. I don't know if he's an alpha male, he's kind of fat, but, you know, he has experience working in this stuff. Any of those guys, Denis Villeneuve, would have been perfect. But no, we got Rian Johnson because Kathy, I just feel comfortable with him. Okay, there's one thing. Can't get the picture of Carrie Fisher doing Leia friggin' Poppins out of our minds. You humiliated Mark Hamill, then you humiliate Carrie Fisher. Thank God Harrison Ford wasn't anywhere near this. Can't imagine what you would have done to him, and he probably would have walked off the set. You know, biggest movie star in the world, right? You know, so we got the humiliation of Carrie Fisher. We've got uninteresting new characters. One, I don't give a shit about Rey. She is a Mary Sue. your arguments are stupid and they are invalid because she has a Mary Sue. That's the way you wrote her. Girls can never do anything wrong. They can never get hurt. They're perfect. That's a real honest to goodness, really good role model for little girls. Poe Dameron. The Yo Mama jokes. And then he gets slapped by Leia, which is another embarrassing moment for Carrie Fisher. She should have walked off the set. No, Leia wouldn't do that. I'm not going to do it. I walked off the set. That was bullshit. Poe Dameron. Absolutely no personality at all. Finn. That was a waste of a character with a lot of potential. Hux. Admiral Gender Studies. If anybody deserved to be hit in the head with a ball-peen hammer, it is Admiral fucking Gender Studies. Okay, can't get her out of our minds. Yuck. Let's see, who else? Killing Akbar like that. I mean, what, and the douche nozzle, beta male, soy boy, emo jackass, crybaby wussifer, Kyle Ron. Can't get him out of our minds. Literally the dumbest friggin' villain I have ever seen in my life. He is not, in fact, his character is regressed. The idea that he's he's better than Darth Vader is just mind-boggling. That he's a better villain than Grand Moff Tarkin and the Emperor. And Snoke, the biggest waste of time ever in the history of film. Why would you even have him in there if you're just going to kill him off? What? Alright. So, you're blaming Star Wars fatigue. And I'm telling you, no. It's all of the stuff I just listed still seared on our brains. Okay? So let's talk about Solo. First of all, you hired, I've said this before, you hired Lord and Miller, who never should have been anywhere near a Star Wars movie. You hired them. Instead of giving Anthony Ingruber the contract, which is what I heard you were ready to do, you suddenly switch to a 5'9" version of either Jack Nicholson or David Hasselhoff guy who can't act. Awful Aaron Reich. I am a huge Harrison Ford fan, and I love Han Solo. My favorite character. Do you honestly fucking think I'm gonna go see that movie or have anything to do with this? At least with Anthony Ingruber, there would have been some continuity. Instead, we got a guy that, as Ethan Van Sciver said, he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't have it. He gets his ass kicked by a girl, and it's just, no, I'm not going to see it. You've got a female villain, not a villain, but a character, and everyone was flipped out about her, and it's like, who gives a shit? Oh. Lando Calrissian. So, some worthless pain in the ass scribbler decides to ask John, I'm a moron, Kasdan. John, I only got my job because my dad's Larry Kasdan. It's funny how that works. Asks him, John Kasdan, if Lando's pansexual. Who even thinks of asking this shit? Did the fucking journalist, sorry for dropping F-bombs, did the journalist ever see The Empire Strikes Back? Ever? Okay. Obviously not. John Kasdan said, instead of saying, no, he's not, and walking away, jumped into the virtue signaling like a signalman calling in an F-18 on an aircraft carrier. I mean, he was waving his arms and doing all this stuff. You know, and then when people are like, what the... Most of us didn't even know what that even meant, and we were scared to find out. He doubles down on it in a tweet. Gee, first off, retconning Lando Calrissian to be a pig, and that, or mentally ill, which I assume pansexuals are, really wasn't a good idea. Okay, dumbass? Second of all, doubling down on it and being unapologetic, that was stupid too. Can I tell you something? How many families didn't go to that movie this week because what you said? And it's not even in the movie, I found out. It might be. There are people that are talking about a certain running of different lines and between L337, I think that ambulatory toaster's name is, and Lando, or she was talking to somebody. So who knows? But still, people didn't go to it. Why? Because John Kasdan couldn't help but stand on the flight deck of the USS Kathleen Kennedy and virtue signal like an aircraft signalman. All right, he just couldn't help himself. You got it. Shut up. Here's the deal. And we still remember all the gender bullshit, the misandry, and all the rest of that garbage from The Last Jedi. We have fatigue, all right. We have fatigue of a bunch of Hollywood, bubble-headed, echo chamber-dwelling jackasses telling us what to think, how to think, and how bad we are for, let's see. All right, audience that are men. You're bad because you're a man. You're really bad because you're a white man. All right. All women have to be feminazis. Well, I'm not a feminazi. All right. In fact, the next video I'm going to do today is about a couple books I'm reading. And I started it yesterday and I haven't finished it, but I'm going to finish it because I'm going to ask a question in that. And it's about feminism. All right. And it's about the big lie that Admiral Gender Studies is an example of. All right. It is a big lie. It is the big lie that Claudia Gray pukes all over her writing everywhere she goes. All right. It's the big pile of shit that Pablo Hidalgo pukes everywhere he goes. All over Star Wars. Since when does fucking Star Wars decide that it has to be misandrist in order to be worthwhile? All right. I'm not. I don't know a lot of women who are. Okay. So it's not Star Wars fatigue. As John Talk Star Wars said, I would go to a Star Wars movie every friggin' week if it was good. Alex Becker, I think, said that. But because we get hit over the head with your left-wing, progressive, virtue signaling shit all the time, we're not going to do it anymore. All right? That's why. I've had friends tell me that Solo was a good movie. I'm still not going to say it. Awful Ehrenreich is in Han Solo. All right? And hopefully you guys will kill any idea of a trilogy when it doesn't make the money it cost to make it back. Okay? All right? Most expensive Star Wars movie in history. $255 million. It's a bomb. If it makes $100 million by the end of this day, it's a bomb. Okay? It's a bomb. It's a fail. So, that's why no one went to go see Solo. The putrescence and disgusting images and vile storytelling of Rian Johnson and the shit that Kathleen Kennedy let him get away with, and the disgraceful way he treated Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, and the big fuck you to Harrison Ford that The Last Jedi really was, and George Lucas. I mean, that's what that milking scene was about. Luke Skywalker is George Lucas. Okay? We all know that. Alright. So, that's what the movie was about, and we know it, and we can't stop thinking about it. That's why and that's part of the biggest reason why we didn't go to see Solo. I feel bad for the actors in Solo. Alden Ehrenreich was reaching too far up. He is in way over his pay grade. You know, he never should have thought about getting that role. There's no reason to even make the movie. Nobody wanted it. You did it anyway. Basically, you're committing film necrophilia. You know, doing it with Han Solo's corpse. Bombed. See, you might have killed him, but he got you back. Alright? He got you back. And we're not going to go see episode 9 either. Unless somebody fixes Kathleen Kennedy's problem and fires a lot of people, dismantles a story group, decanonizes everything Claudia Gray wrote, decanonizes that piece of shit book that Daniel Jose Older wrote, and decanonizes all the shit that Wendig wrote. Okay? All of it. All of it. Gone. Because the next video I'm doing is about the EU and what the fans really want. Okay? So this is Steph ranting because I'm really pissed off. I don't have Star Wars fatigue. I got virtue signaling SJW bullshit in my Star Wars fatigue. Okay? And I'm not letting up. No one is. Until shit gets changed. And I think we are all owed an apology from Lucasfilm for everything they did to Luke, Han, and Leia. And George Lucas. Stuff. Signing out. See you on the galaxy.